Hey y'all, Mark Joko here with Create Texas. We tell stories about local artists, musicians, talk about culture and what's happening here in Texas. And today we got a wonderful guest right here from Arlington and Grand Prairie. We'll get to Maryland here in a second. Just want to highlight a couple things coming up. This Thursday is our next open mic night, 7 p.m. right here at the Epic. We're here in the Epic right now. This is the Epic podcast video streaming studio. And then we also have Tribulation Sound upstairs. So this is a real arts center. So a lot goes on here every week. So that is Thursday night, 7 p.m. Just go to Create Texas on our Instagram and message us if you want to be part of that. And then at the end of February, and we'll talk more about that, February 21st is our Epic Vibe Fest. A lot more to come on about that. But now we wanted to talk about local music and art. And she's kind of a Renaissance woman. She does a little bit of everything. Marilyn, welcome.
Hi.
How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here talking with you and talking about arts.
Well, you have a lot of different things going on, and you're one of our resident artists over at Create Studios in Arlington. I see you do a lot of different things. You got some of your things with this now. Tell us where it all began. When did you start loving art?
So, it might sound a cliche, but I started very little. Since I remember, and my mom, always tells me that, I was a very, very creative when I was little. So I used to draw on the walls of my house, and my mom was not very happy.
I'll bet.
But yeah, seriously, professionally, taking art as my full-time and everything, it's been the last 8 years to 10 years. It's when I took very seriously.
So a lot of artists, their journey includes a lot of different things. A lot of it includes them starting in high school, in art classes, college, or whatever. Were you a art student, or did you just naturally develop all these skills?
I naturally developed all the skills. I took a couple courses at high school, and I was even accepted to go to the art school in Puerto Rico. I didn't mention I'm from Puerto Rico. I got married, I started having kids, and then my dream of becoming an artist was leave to the side until they grew up a little bit, and then I was starting venturing myself into oils, acrylics, and everything that it was creative I will do.
So Puerto Rico is a pretty creative place to grow up, I would guess.
Yes.
Never been there, but read about it. And you've told me some about it. So what were some of those early influences?
So in Puerto Rico, you can find a lot of color. But there's so many amazing artists like Noel Rivera, which is one of our resident artists at Create. And he's been my mentor and my maestro, like I call him. So he is a very, very well-known artist in Puerto Rico. But there's so many other amazing artists that when I was growing up, like Campeche, like many, many other artists that influenced my love for art. But in Puerto Rico, I will say overall, the music, the dance, everything is very vibrant and colorful and creative. So I think, being a Puerto Rican, it's part of being so creative nowadays.
Well, I certainly see the color in all your work, obviously in your watercolors and also in your balloons. But talk to us a little bit about your watercolors and when that started. Is that where you started originally, or what was your first love?
My first one was acrylics. That's how I started. And I always felt intimidated by watercolors. And I always thought that it was something that only little kids will start venturing into the arts, because it's something that has been taught at school. And when the pandemic happened, that's when I got in my hands a watercolor palette, and it was a no-go back. I hardly touch any acrylics nowadays. Everything that I do is acrylics. So this piece right here is watercolors, because it's so fluent, it is so impactful. I can move the paint differently than with acrylics.
That's what today we're celebrating.
So today is the Three Kings Day.
Yeah.
So Puerto Ricans, we do, is a part of our tradition. Today in Puerto Rico, there's nobody works today. Everybody everybody goes to the streets to receive the three kings. And there's even like a very special celebration that the three kings go from one part of the island and then go all the way around the island, visiting the people and bringing gifts and candies and things for the kids.
Historically, this is the time we celebrate when the three kings would have arrived to the manger scene,
Yes.
bringing gifts,
Yes.
which most people don't make that connection.
Yes, the wise men.
That's right, the wise men. And so Puerto Rico, that's a huge celebration then.
It is. It is. It's something that we appreciate a lot. It's nothing religious. It's more like a belief
Sure.
that we have that comes very, very back and is part of our history. So the three kings are something that everybody in Puerto Rico celebrates.
One of the other things I see you working on a lot is your prints.
Yes.
Tell us about your prints, the process. If you go to Create Texas and look at our Instagram, you'll see her and Noem and process on that. Tell us a little bit about that whole process.
So there's so many techniques that we use to create prints, and this is something that is a labor of love, I will say, because like for example, this piece is something that it was created with a Tetra Pak. Is the container that comes in the chicken broth. So you carve that piece of carton and create whatever you want with your piece, and then it goes into a process of designing, carving, and then putting through the presses in the studio that we use to transfer whatever we carve into the paper that we are using. So this one is called monotype, but this one is called a lino cut or etching is how people know this. On this one we use a Tetra Pak, and this one I use a lino block, which is a linoleum.
And so when you're saying linoleum, that's no different than the linoleum material that we use as floor tiles.
Well, it's not. Probably it has maybe some components that
Right.
comes from that particular material that you're mentioning, but it's more soft. And we can even carve on wood or any other materials, even PVC, to create the same effect when we put it through our press.
So those tools you use on the linoleum, those also work on wood?
Yes. Yes.
That's interesting because it looks like it's on your desk. It looks like a pin set, but it's actually carving tools.
They're carving tools, yes. And you can use, you have to file them and make sure that they're super, super sharp in order to cut whatever piece you're cutting. I don't use the same carving tools for the monotype because the material that I'm using is very thin. But for linoleum, wood carving, or any others like PVC, we use those carving tools, yes.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah, it's super cool.
And so you paint over those then with the black paint, but you can use any paint, right?
Yes, and actually this is kind of the same technique that is used back in the day to make t-shirts. That we can talk about, things that we have planned, because you carve a piece and then you can transfer it into a t-shirt. So the type of ink that you use can be used for t-shirts too.
So all of those presses you have, that also can be utilized to slide a t-shirt in there.
And we'll be making a video soon so you guys can see it at the Create Instagram page, because I love to record processes and I love to teach people how to do those things, because art is something that is very mesmerizing. I think art is super beneficial for your mental health, for so many things, that is not only for artists who wants to show their work. It's also for everybody who wants to experience and create memories.
Right.
What to experience the art.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and then your other love that you've talked to us about is also, you brought some of that with you.
Yes.
So when did you start balloon art?
It's incredible, but I started back in June 2025. So my creative mind, and it works very different, and I'm always looking to do new things that they're creative, and that takes that desire that I have to create art. So back in March 2025, I started doing face painting, and then in June, I had the opportunity to take a class to do ballooning, and here I am doing face painting, traditional art, and also face painting.
And so when you do the balloon art, you do that at festivals and you have a line of what you do, or can people request anything?
I do any type of balloon requests, including balloon animals for festivals, parties, any celebrations. I do big festivals and small festivals. I also do balloon decorations. So I do baby showers, birthday decorations, all kinds of stuff.
So what do you have here?
So I have the three kings. I made them last night.
That is awesome.
Yes. So yeah, here they are.
The three kings in balloons.
In balloons. Yes.
My
Yes.
first time to see the three kings in balloons.
Really?
That's quite the detail.
Yes, it is. Very, very fun. Yes.
So what do you got coming up? I know you're always working at Create Gallery, and the Create Studio Space is over in Arlington. If people get in touch with you, can they come by and see you there?
Of course, of course. And we want to open our resident area in Create to bring more people to bring their artwork for us to see it. Whatever they need help with, we want to help them. We want to invite them to join us on Fridays that we have open gallery and we have open art studios, so they can bring their paints or whatever they're working on to join us and create an amazing community with other artists in the area.
Tell me a little bit about our next art opening is going to be on the first Thursday of February. And it's going to be what? What's the topic? What's the theme of that?
So that one is going to be a very, very fun topic to explore. And it's going to be dinosaurs.
Dinosaurs.
Yes.
And who will be the featured artist in addition to you?
Oh, there. He has an amazing collection, a huge series of dinosaurs that he made. And I know that you will have him soon here talking about more about that. But he's inspired by his son and all the toys that his son loves, and he created these huge, beautiful, super colorful masterpieces, and I want everybody to go and see it. They cannot miss it.
Well, and I think in line with that, you're going to be doing a few watercolor pieces too.
Yes. And I want to challenge myself to do something huge that it's going to be very, very impactful. I want people to see how watercolor can be taken to something that is huge.
And I might guess maybe dinosaur balloon figures.
Yes, yes. We're going to have a lot of that. Yes, sir.
So if you come, you can guarantee you're going to walk out with a dinosaur painted on your face, balloon art, and hopefully you'll purchase a lot of our artists' wonderful art. Because
Yes.
everything we do, everything is for sale, because the purpose of Create is to support our local artists, not just to have events, but to sell and work towards making a full-time life as an artist.
Sure. That's our goal.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot thank you enough for stopping by. Now tell us your Instagram handles.
So my Instagram, you can find me at arteando_contigo on Instagram and Facebook. And you can find me for balloon and face painting at Smiley Strokes by Marilyn on Instagram and Facebook.
All right. Well, thank you for coming by today, and we look forward to another upcoming event that you'll be involved with, our Epic Vibe Fest, February 21st. And you're going to be doing face painting at that, correct?
Yes. I'm going to be doing face painting. Now I'm doing airbrush tattoos and glitter tattoos and balloon twisting. So we're going to have all kinds of stuff.
Run that out again. You're now doing face painting,
Balloon animals, balloon twisting, airbrush tattoos, and glitter tattoos.
airbrush tattoos. That's a new one.
Yes,
that you're doing.
that's a new one.
Jeez.
And I might take that to probably into my artwork too. So let's see.
Well, you continue to evolve, as
Thank
all
you.
artists have got to do, right?
Yes.
We all have to do it, especially in the creative space. Well, thank you, Marilyn, so much for stopping by. That's Marilyn Lopez, and make sure and look her up on all of her social media. Follow her. I'll put February 1st on your schedule, January 8th down here. Next week, we're going to have David Tribble on here to talk about a big music release party of his that we're going to have on January 29th right here at the Epic. So 2026 is off to a fast start as always. So take care. God bless you. And keep being creative. Talk to you later. I don't know if that'll be my little sign off, but keep being creative. Kind of generic, but
No, it's not.